Hey there, I'm Brooke. Not long ago, I went through 2 major life changes within about a week of each other. One of these changes was fantastic, but the other, not so much so. This is about that, the not so fantastic change, and the creative questioning I went through, and am frankly still going through, to move forward proactively, while also creating the space I need to reflect and grow. I was only on day 2 of the not-so-good change when I noticed I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to decide my next direction. I think because so much was happening, I felt like I needed to just do something. So instead of taking a step back to pause and reflect, I jumped straight into planning what to do next. It was kind of like a tornado had just swept through my life, but rather than allowing the dust to settle, I was out pouring concrete for a new foundation on top of all of the rubble. Once I took a step back and realized what I was doing, I was reminded of a quote from the Tao Te Ching about the importance of patience during turbulent times. Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? My desire to be proactive was coming from a good place, but I was overlooking a deeper need. Imagine you have a jar of silt and water. When you stir the jar, the contents become muddy, and you can no longer see clearly through the water. This concept applies to our ability to make important decisions during difficult moments. When we're in the middle of a stressful situation, our thoughts can become clouded by our emotions, and this can impair our ability to think objectively. It's only when we've allowed the contents to settle that we can see clearly through the water once more. Taking some time to step away when we feel our emotions have been stirred up allows us to let a moment settle so we can approach it with clarity and a fresh set of eyes. One way to help us slow down is to create space for flow. When we get into a state of flow, the voice of our inner critic quiets, and this can help us become more aware of what we need. Activities such as drawing, journaling, playing music, meditation, all of these can help create a sense of stillness. One of my personal go-tos for reflection is journaling, and there's a journaling method called morning pages, which has helped me quite a bit with sorting through my own thoughts and feelings. At its heart, morning pages is essentially the process of writing 3 stream of consciousness long-form pages each morning, with the goal of writing whatever comes to mind without second-guessing or placing judgment or worrying about structure. It's really just about getting your thoughts and feelings onto the page. Whenever I write in my journal, I try to remember that there's no wrong way to write in my journal, and that my journal can be whatever it needs to be from moment to moment. It's really about exploring through the process of writing that has helped me the most. I also believe it's important to try not to stress about keeping a journal every single day. If the pressure of feeling like you have to journal every day is getting in the way of you keeping a journal at all, try to focus on the process instead, and remember it's the act of writing that matters. Okay, so once you've taken some time to reflect and examine your thoughts and feelings, look for recurring themes. What are some challenges you've been experiencing lately? What's been going well for you? Also, how has your self-talk been? The goal here is to become mindful of your inner critic and practice self-compassion. Remember, the golden rule also applies to how you treat yourself. At its core, the golden rule means to treat others as you would like to be treated, but a lot of us don't seem to be so good at treating ourselves nearly as well as we treat others. Just like everyone else, we also need patience and grace. Think about a time recently when maybe you were a little hard on yourself. Were you as patient and kind to yourself as you would have been to a friend? Our thoughts can become us, so take care to give yourself the space you need to process and the time to reflect and to grow. Finally, as always, be kind and try to help someone else feel special today. I hope this helps you, and if you decide to try any of these tips and want to share how they worked for you, please let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. It means a lot. Thanks for visiting.